Hey everybody, it is Qcknd and welcome back to my channel. Today is Tuesday, where on my channel we talk about tattoos. So if it is your very first time joining us for Tattoo Talk Tuesday, Tattoo Talk Tuesday is our weekly interactive talk show where I take viewer submitted questions and try to lend my experience to you as a tattoo collector. So today I'm not going to be deep diving into like some pop culture thing with tattoos or giving instructions about tattoos, but I thought I would just kind of talk about some of my own feelings with tattoos. So I did a video with Vilonious and briefly we talked about just like how sometimes being tattooed can be a bit exhausting. I had writing on my arm and I had it removed because people kept reading it and I didn't anticipate that bothering me so much. I'm serious. I got rid of it.
You should try having an eyeball tattoo.
Oh my god. And a couple of you guys were like, what's that about? I've spoken about it here and there online and I feel like I generally get a weird pushback when I talk about it, so I try not to. But then I'll post something about it. I'll post something like kind of funny, like push this button if you want all your tattoos removed on my Instagram story, and all you guys will push it. So I'm like, well, I was talking to this photographer in Philadelphia. His name's Ian Shiver, and he has all these tattoos and he's around my age. And he messaged me, he like replied to one of my stories one time, and I was like, oh my god, someone important talking. And he expressed like a really similar kind of feeling. So I feel like talking about how sometimes your tattoos exhaust you generally gets a weird pushback from like this other party who may not understand. So I wanted to just kind of like talk about my feelings about it in a very informal way where I'm not talking about regret. And I swear I've tried to approach this before. I tried to approach it, you know, with Michael's sweater and things like that. So I'm just gonna give you my point of view and perhaps my updated point of view now that I've gotten a little older. But before we get started, I did want to quickly mention, just for the next minute, the sponsor of this video is actually one of you guys. So Alyssa Bilodeau actually reached out to me. She is a subscriber, a viewer, a channel member, and she actually just came out with an EP called Neon Nights, which was released today. So Alyssa is a Canadian artist and she came out with this album. It's 5 tracks and she actually sent me an advanced copy that I've been listening to. And I just wanted to share it with you guys because like I'm so excited for her and I'm so excited like for this community. So I just wanted to share it. So I'm gonna leave a link below. So it's 5 songs and I've been listening to them. I just want to talk about them briefly. They kind of remind me almost of like a Bombay Bicycle Club Kate Nash mix-up. And I don't know if that's offensive, but that's kind of just like what I was thinking. But still like almost that touch of like high school emo, cute is what we aim for. If you're into that, I feel like Our Streets is definitely track number 5, is that like Bombay Bicycle Club kind of feel. But my favorite track on the EP, like I went right for the sad one as the emo bitch that I am, and it is track 4, Raspberry Lips. And the song starts out where it's like, he dropped out of high school, he's got no college education, and he's in his truck. And I was like, oh my god, was this song written for me? John, pick up your wig. So if you want to check out Alyssa's EP, it literally just dropped today. I will leave a link for it. It is $12.99 if you want to download it, and you can sample it or check it out on different streaming. But thank you so much, Alyssa, for just like reaching out to me and sending me your album, and just like I'm so proud of you. So congratulations on your album, and if you guys want to check it out today or support Alyssa, I will also leave her Twitter link so you can just say hi, and thank you so much. I really don't want to waste like all of my time before I say something that might be controversial, like prepping you guys for it, but I am not trying to be woe is me, and I feel like people telling me that is what keeps my interest in having this conversation like very minimal. And it's kind of a shame because every time I give an inch, someone reaches back out and they feel the same way. It's kind of interesting. And I want to talk about it without anyone being like, you gave yourself these tattoos and now you feel like you... Like, all the times I've ever been like, I was sexually harassed because of my tattoos, and people are like, well, some people die. I'm like, some people do die. So I can generally feel exhausted at times about having tattoos. And some of the times, like, I would say 50-50, if I'm being completely honest. I love having tattoos. I think they're great. I love when I can have a long sleeve shirt on and just some of my tattoo pops out. I love wearing trousers and rolling them up so my ankle tattoos show a little bit. I love presenting like a tattooed body, like on my terms. But that's kind of like the asterisk, like on my terms. And there's such a handful of times where I'm like, well, sometimes presenting a tattooed body like really exhausts me. And I can think immediately, like if I went to the beach with my friends, I love being tattooed. Either they are tattooed, or I get to express myself, or I get to like show off a little bit. Sometimes I feel like my tattoos allow me some sort of silent bragging right, where if we're all swimming in the river and I take off my top and my back is fully tattooed, I just feel great. Like I feel super cool, and I feel like I get to show my friends in real life, even though now with Instagram they've seen it. Whatever, we hang out, they don't say anything because they've already seen it. But you know, even the last time we all went swimming in the river and I took off my shirt and jumped in, like the people who didn't know me who were there, they're, you know, it's really cool. It's cool to present as tattooed. Like, we get it for ourselves. I'm 100% that way. But then, you know, around the right group of people, you feel really cool about it. Or just confident. Like, I feel sloppy in a bathing suit, but I know that I have all these cool tattoos, so it kind of evens it out, and then I feel normal, you know? But then there are other times, like recently I was invited to go down the shore and see some family who were already down there. And really, the idea of being in a bathing suit around them just felt very exhausting. And I keep using that word because that's kind of just like the best word for it. You're like, oh, my tattoos.
Grocery store with sunglasses on, you know?
No, I do a ton of stuff like when I don't want to have tattoos. And like my mom used to call me out on it. She's like, you got these tattoos, now you're wearing a cardigan?
Like, I knew what I was getting into when I got my eye tattooed. I knew it was gonna be like. I knew that people were gonna look at me differently, and everywhere I go, people were gonna have questions and stuff like that. But you know, some days I'm just not in the mood. And
it's not my tattoos exactly, but it is kind of just like the cast that tattoos give you. It's either somebody's judging you, which notably is less or maybe not very common, and not something I'm necessarily wrapped up in. But it does exist, and let's not pretend it doesn't exist to paint a utopian picture that isn't real. Like, sometimes people are gonna judge you about having tattoos, no matter what kind of judgment it is. I just didn't want to present this tattooed body to these relatives that I don't know, because I don't know what they would think. And I don't know how to stop them from thinking that and just have a nice day at the beach with me. And I was going to wear shorts and stuff anyway, because I also like don't want to present like a sexualized body to them. Like, here's my big fat ass, do you want to swim? I remember immediately when my grandma invited me to go, I said, I have too many tattoos. And she ignored it because she's used to me saying stuff like that, but that's kind of just how I immediately felt. Just like, ugh, I don't want my tattoos to dominate the conversation, especially when I just want to casually be around people who I'm loosely related to in a very extended family way. I just have to pop up sometimes, say what's up. And I don't want to be like that tattoo goblin. I just want to be me, like the chillest, smallest level of me ever. And that's my personality, to just barely exist. And the tattoos will present this super loud person who's cool at the river, but at the beach I'm like, no, Similarly, not this last time we all got in a car accident, but the previous time we all got in a car accident, when the cops came, I remember I had knee-high socks on, a skirt, and long sleeves. And I was like, I really don't want to present as being tattooed right now because I don't want it to dominate this experience. And I thought that instantly, you know. And when the police came and took all the information and took everybody's story and everything like that, the only tattoo that was visibly showing on my body was my XO on my leg, because it wasn't covered by my knee-high socks or my skirt. Literally, that was the only thing showing, and I swear to you, the cop was like, oh, do you have tattoos? Curious, or he has tattoos himself, anything like that, whatever. He could have been like, oh, do you have brown hair? I have brown hair. And I would have been like, okay. But just like him noticing the smallest tattoo on my body from head to toe was like witnessing me, and then saw that and then made a comment about it, just like rubbed me the wrong way. Not in an angry way or in a sexualized way, just like in a way that was like, he's looking at you and he's trying to read you, and now he's reading that you have this tattoo. Like, what kind of signals is that sending him? You almost feel like helpless in a way. And it's not the first time that we've been approached by police who made a comment about my tattoos. One time we were all drinking by the river with my plumber, and when the cops came and took our beer, they asked me my job, and they said, are you a tattoo artist? And I was like, no, I'm a shampoo girl. And they're like, your driver's license says you're 25. So those are just times that I would just rather not present as a tattooed person. And I can't have this conversation without feeling like I have to further explain myself. I know I get to choose having my tattoos, and I do like them. These are just experiences where I'm like, damn, could I turn it off? And I know other people have things about them that they can't turn off. So those are just times that I'd rather not present with tattoos. And there's plenty of other times, like outfits that I'd want to wear, but I feel like the tattoos kind of just dominate the look. And then other times the tattoos are super cool. Like later I want to wear this like baggy t-shirt, and it's really cool to just wear these like oversized looks and then have these tattoos because I feel like they bring everything together and it's really cool. It's a really cool look. But then other times where I just want to like be very minimized in my look. For example, John's birthday was last week and we went out to eat with his parents, and I really just want to dress like I don't exist. I want to dress and present as like a small librarian and just present as somebody who takes good care of their son. And sometimes I feel like having a giant Playboy bunny tattoo really muddies that presentation. And then I go home and I don't care. So I did want to talk about, like Vilonious said, like I don't always want to go to the supermarket with a blue eye. And just like me, like I really don't want to go to the gym with a full body of tattoos. And that's just because I don't want anybody to know, and I don't want anybody to see them. And I have always been that way. I want to have the choice to present as tattooed or not, and that's like a very personal way I feel. And it's nice to connect with other people who feel that way as well, just because I feel like maybe we have something else in common. But also, it's kind of the reason, like, my hair is kind of a more natural color now and other things like that. I've always been somebody who didn't want to present very loudly in life, but has always been interested in body mod and tattoo culture. Like, always. I've always thought that scars were cool. If someone has a black eye, I think it's cool. Like, I don't know why I'm like that, but that's it. Like, last time I sprained my ankle, I was wearing like a brace, and I was like, this is fucking cool. Whenever my microdermals would like get loose and I had to wear a band-aid for like a week, I was like, I'm fucking cool. And maybe living in a city kind of exacerbates this like exhaustion for me because I'm with a lot of people, and when you're just with a lot of people, I don't know, like for me and probably other people, like if I'm on the bus, I just want to get there. Or if I'm at the store, I just want to hurry up. But then other times I feel really lonely, so like I don't know what I want. There are also times when I think about like just any sort of limitations my tattoos may present for me now or in the future. And even if I can't identify them, I do feel like a looming kind of feeling that I'll have to fight to be this way or like just present this way. I don't know how much fight I have in me. Like, I really want to go to Japan and I don't want to have any lesser of an experience because of my tattoos. And I know like you can go to onsens that allow tattoos and whatever. Just, you know, I do worry just like sticking out in other places. I have this scenario where I was like, I can't move to Japan now. And I'm like, what? Equally, I worry about a lot of other things late at night that make no sense and I just like can't silence them. Someone at the gym is, whatever their job is, they have a month off right now. And they're like, I can't stop the chatter in my mind. And I'm like, yeah, that's what happens when you're home. And I'm like, wow, I'm literally The Shining right now. I do have thoughts like that, realistic or not. And maybe I just have to spend more time with tattooed people. Like doing that collab with Vilonious and like spending time with him, I felt very valid. I was like, okay, I'm not so weird. But other times, like, I really don't want to stick out. And I also don't want my tattoos to dominate any sort of perspective, good or bad, in a situation I'm in, unless like I've allowed it to or it doesn't change what I'm trying to do. For example, swimming in the river. I was gonna swim in the river. It doesn't matter how many kids came to watch. I am at a job interview and they do hire me, but down the line, my tattoos just make them perceive me differently. Even that tiny little micro viewpoint does bother me like a little bit. And you know, like I'll get on the bus and I'm walking down the aisle, the lady stops me and she goes, honey, that's a lot of tattoos. That doesn't happen as frequently anymore, or maybe I'm just like, you know, letting it happen and it doesn't really matter. And I do have all these like anecdotes about it that would exhaust anybody. But that's just like how I feel about tattoos on my own body. And I think because I chose to get tattooed, I don't like having this conversation because I don't want to be louder than anyone else who experiences similar feelings in regards to something else that they can't change. But I do want to speak to other people who are tattooed, or at least put this out there if you've considered becoming heavily or heavier tattooed, that this is an experience that I do have and technically brought upon myself. You know, I do like having tattoos and stuff like that for the majority of the time. Sometimes I'll look at like branded content online where they try to include a tattooed person and it feels like a little like sticking out to me. But then I also like want tattooed people to be involved in stuff. Not because like I necessarily need to be validated in that sense, but because just like I want my people to have jobs. No. Just because it seems more like a realistic snapshot to me. We were in like central Pennsylvania last weekend and everybody was tattooed. Everybody. And like we were out there. Like the people had accents. Actually, the township was called Letterkenny. I was like, what is going on? The lady was like, oh yeah, sometimes I like to take the top off of my car. And I was like, and she was tatted. Everybody had tattoos there. I was at the DMV, sick with tattoos. What I'm trying to say is It's nice to see tattooed people in ads, but I feel like when it's like a bunch of different body types and one tattooed person is also considered one of the body types and she's like all the way over to the left and shit, like I'd rather just not be there. Is that mean? I don't know. Maybe I just think that way more people are tattooed and that makes more sense. I don't know. I don't know about what I'm trying to say. I should make a video that's like tattooed person with unique opinions about stuff. And I'm like, get the tattooed lady out of the Suave commercial. Why? I want her to be there. Anyway, this has been Tattoo Talk Tuesday. Maybe I said something that resonated with you. Regardless, this is kind of just more insight to that comment that I made on the video on my channel where sometimes I just like to disappear, and that's just kind of how I feel. If I'm at the gym, I just want to be working out at the gym and not like be tattooed body there. But then like my gym hosted like a happy hour. I didn't go, but if I would have been there, I think it would have been exciting if I went in a little outfit where all of a sudden I have tattoos, and that's cool. But I don't know why the other situation isn't. I don't know. I don't get it. And I couldn't have predicted that I would have these feelings because even currently I can't identify them. Anyway, this has been Tattoo Talk Tuesday. Check out Alyssa, all that's linked below, and leave a comment. Let me know how you feel. Like, you don't have to agree with me, because if you couldn't tell painstakingly through all the times I apologize for these feelings I have, I don't even understand. So I'd love to hear from you guys, and I love you. Lots of cool content coming out, and until next time, bye.